Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel here. Life on Furlough, Part 2. It's pretty late at the night. It's actually like, what is it, 1:41 a.m. actually, yeah. I got done at practice around like 11:30, and then I ate some Waffle House because this is like, I usually eat something that I want, like on Friday, one thing. And I chose Waffle House, so um, that was pretty good. I ate it after practice, and yeah. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about. So I wanted to get on here and talk about. We talked about nutrition last time. I wanted to talk about the working out part and life as a person who's still active, but is older in age. Now, if you're older and you're watching the channel, I'm 31, so some of you, if you're older watching the channel, you might be like, "Oh, that's like super young." But like people that are younger that are watching the channel might be like, "That's unk status or whatever." But either way it goes, like I feel it. Like when I first turned 30, I ruptured my patellar tendon, which is the connection between it's what makes your leg go like this. It bends back. You know, it will have some flex on it. It connects. It's like it connects like directly onto your kneecap and to the thigh, and it makes it do this. But yeah, I ruptured that, and so I had to in 2024, in the spring of 2024. So I had to go through. I did that like right before my was it on March, April, right after my 30th birthday. So things broke apart. I tore my ACL like before that, but yeah, I'm no stranger to like injury, and because I've been injured, it actually made me, be more body conscious and taking care of my body and the movements and stuff. So, um, for me, I'm a big proponent of a warm up. Like a warm up is like moving, like it's a dynamic warm up. You're always moving, and then the end of a workout, no matter what I'm doing, it's a static stretch. You're holding, to just recover, reaffirm, and re-strengthen the muscle fibers. So that's how I go. And then like when I get up in the morning, I do some yoga, which is that's static stretching, but it's a lot of core work involved. Good with your core. So I'm 31 and I play for this soccer team called Angeles FC here. Um, this is actually one of our goalkeeper jerseys. Got on is blue. You can't see it because I got the blue backdrop or the blue lights or whatever. Um, we play in the United Premier Soccer League, which is it's probably the biggest adult league, adult soccer league. It's the biggest adult soccer league in America, I would say. If you're not counting the National Premier Soccer League, NPSL, and USL 2, those are pretty much like high intensity summer clubs that put you in a professional environment if you're a college player. It's pretty much an internship for college soccer players if they want to go play in the pros and stuff like that, because it puts them in a high level playing environment with pros around. That's not the point. The point is, I'm playing on this team, and there's teams all over the nation that play in the UPSL, and this is our first year in existence. I'm a goalkeeper, and I just want to tell you a little bit of things about how I want to talk about my working out and stuff like that. But I also want to talk about like my experience on the team now, because being on a team now is different than being on a team prior in my career. So I played 16 years of soccer. I started in 2009. I started at 14 years old, which is pretty late. It's pretty late for a soccer player to start. Um, Other people like Matt Turner have started like later. He started at 16. And so it's pretty late, it's pretty late in the game, but I got an opportunity to play soccer. I was invited to go to soccer conditioning by a Haitian American named Mac Nelson. And then it just spurned from that from high school to college to professional indoor soccer to playing on various various UPSL teams like Georgia Revolution, Middle Georgia United FC, and now Angeles. So I've played on those teams at different ages. Obviously, also played another UPSL teams. I played in various. I played in this league before, but playing as a 31-year-old now, and our team is actually the best team in the league right now. We're top of the table. We're number one in the league. I think we have like 3 wins. I think we have like 4 wins, one loss, and 2 ties. So we're doing pretty good. We got like 4 games left. We got to finish the season out strong. Then we get promoted to the highest league, which is Premier Division. You have teams like Atlanta United Academy in there, Chattanooga FC in there, Dalton United. And then if you get into the nationals of the playoffs in UPSL, you get prize money. You get like, from what I understand, like $100,000 if you win the final, and maybe like $50,000 if you get in the semis. But anyway, I'm 31, and playing on the team, I would say the average age, just guessing, the average age of the team is probably somewhere around 21. Yeah. So you got a lot of, you got like, there's like, and I could be off here. I mean, I'm talking about the age, but I'm just giving you so there's like one, two, Brady, Cam, Blaine. So as I know of right now, it's like 4 high school players on the team, like 17 and 18, and they're all great. They're all good. Like, cause the UPSL, you're playing with grown men. It's a league full of ex-professionals. You know, a lot of ex-professionals play in other states in division, because each state has their own team. You know what I mean? And then they have layers of divisions in those teams. So it's full of former pros, grown men who like seasoned. You know what I mean? Um, and so, me myself having some professional indoor experience, not outdoor but indoor. But yeah, so I'm 31 and I'm playing with high schoolers, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds. I'm not the oldest one on the team. I have a teammate that's 33, another teammate that's 31, another teammate that's 30. And so I just want to give you, like, it's pretty interesting to me because 4 of the teammates that I have, I coached them when I was a coach. So I coached 4 of them when I was a coach, and then you know, the coach was my teammate in high school when we played travel soccer and tournaments and stuff like that. He was also my college teammate for a semester. The assistant coach is younger than me, and we played high school together. You see what I'm saying? So um, it's very interesting to be like a former player. I literally subbed on last game with a kid that I coached in middle school. He's 21 and I'm 31. And so it's just been amazing to just get that kind of outlook. And I'll tell you, man, it keeps you youthful. It keeps you up to date, keeps you up to speed. It makes you work, especially when you're on a winning team. And like it's different because this is the first team in 10 years, right? That I no, this is the first team in since 2011, because that was the last time I had a winning season. So I played on college teams, and I played on academy teams, and I played on UPSL teams. I played on summer league teams. This is the first team that I've played on since 2011, which was my junior year of high school. Went to the quarterfinals of the state playoffs. This is a winning season, and so the outlook is like amazing. I played a lot in the preseason. did very well. And then I played the first and second game. Uh, First half was first game, and then the whole game the second half. We tied, and then we lost the second game. It wasn't really anything I could really do about it. We tied 1-1, and we tied 2-2, and we tied. Or we lost 2-1, and then the other keeper, who was younger than me, 17, he ended up getting an opportunity to play, and he played well. And so what I've realized now is like whatever role that I'm put on in a team, I've been assigned to, and we all have. There's three of us. There's a goalkeeper from Colombia. There's a goalkeeper and then there's two of us Americans. We're all good. We all are good, and we all have gotten chances to play. It's just whoever the coach wants to play. And when you're playing on teams like this, you have to realize like you don't run the show. You're just a player, and you have to play your part. And I do that very well. And so one thing I've realized about this team is like playing at 31 is like it's not very toxic at all. I actually have to like push a lot of that thought pattern out of my mind because I'm looking for people to disrespect me. So I'll kind of be on the defensive if someone is joking on me a little bit, and I've had to like kind of calm that down because that can ruin the energy of a team, and just realize that it's all good right now because we're having success and it's a good energy. It's a good mix of younger and more seasoned players. I've also realized like I've had to prep for things a lot more too, like getting up in the morning, stretching, eating right throughout the day. I get a workout in. Probably we practice 3 days out of the week. I get a workout in every time before we go to training, and I'm absolutely like wore out to the grizzle. But I noticed that puts my body in a state of like staying switched on, and so I like the atmosphere. I like when I go train, and that's what that's what I'm talking about. If you're an older person, in your 30s or 40s, late 20s, even 50s, 40s, and 50s. Find something that you can stay active in, whether it's just working out, or like pickleball, or tennis, or swimming, or like your local basketball team. Like, stay at it, because a lot of players a lot of people that I'm around, like they're active. You know what I mean? So I go to a CrossFit gym, and there's people that are 47 and like ripped to shreds, and way more like physically fit and like appealing and looking than me, and that turns me up. That keeps me going up a notch. Because I'm like, dang, if they can do that and they can hold that, and not only hold their physical form, but get better over time, then like I can definitely do that. God willing, I stay healthy and stuff like that. But I would say like make sure like as you age, make sure that you have like a physical activity that keeps you going, because soccer for me at this point in my career is a physical activity, and it's a camaraderie, community building activity for me as well. I go to a men's group on Friday for a Christian men's group called Warriors of Christ. We get together, we pray together, read the Bible together, and then we go work out after too. And so I'm always in things that happen to be just active lifestyle. It's important to take care of yourself. It's important to take care of yourself. You don't want to be, not being able to move 30, 40, or 50. You want to be able to, run around. If you have kids, play with them. I have one son. So that's big for me, to be able to move and have the energy to move and want to move as he's growing and stuff like that. I want to do that with him. There you go. There you go. Come on. Come on. And yeah, definitely. You gotta, if you're gonna be around a community of active people, you gotta make sure you bring the right energy too. You can't be around, being a sap and feeling sorry for yourself. I've been that person before, and I can be like that if I don't, because I'm so used to a certain thing and a certain toxicity. But you have to get out of that mindset. Everybody's not out to drag things. People want to have fun. People want to do things. People want to get that certain type of aspect of life, and that's the best way. Staying active is the best way to build, that endorphin, get those good feel good endorphins and stuff like that in your life. Even if everything's not going well, life's not perfect. So it's very important to me that you stay active. Number one, because it keeps you fluid. Motion is lotion. You know what I mean? If you're not active, if you don't use it, you lose it. And you'll over time you won't be able to use these tools and stuff, and then you might need to move something, and you hurt your back moving it. You can do that when you're healthy, but it's more of a chance that you'll be okay when you're healthy. You know what I mean? You could just wait. It's good to just be able to wake up and feel good, or wake up and be able to figure out what to do. So number two, it helps you problem solve. So yeah. So you want to be able to have the ability to figure out what to do to get your body humming, moving, feeling good. I know immediately if I'm not feeling good, like you get up and you flush yourself out with water. Make sure you're drinking water throughout the day because it flushes you out. And then you know, stretching is a big thing for me. Stretching is like it lowers like cortisol levels, which is like that's what adds stress to your body, helps you makes you gain more weight than you need to. So that's important. Being able to know what to do to make yourself feel good in terms of activity. Get outside, walk for 30 minutes if you need to clear your head, you know what I mean? Me and my son are big on going on like walks out to the park, playing at the park and then walking back, you know what I mean? Um, that's big, just start, if you're not doing something, start small, you know what I mean? But don't just sit on it, if you have an able body, don't just sit on it. Like, God gave you a body to be able to build on it, carve it, and like transform it, and you should, even if like you're having a hard time, like you're not seeing the weight fall off, or you're not seeing certain things grow, you want to keep at it, because if you stop, it's not going to happen. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get better. But if you keep going, and then in between the struggle, you'll have progress, because there's no progress without struggle. And then number three, you really want to be able to have a clear head, like a clear mental. A lot of like physical activity helps where you don't develop like mental illnesses. You know what I mean? A lot of people are out here taking medication and doing substances and drinking all their pain away. All their you know their mind can't can't get out of a fog, because they might not decide to walk 30 minutes a day or go out and do that 30-minute workout. Put yourself through some, especially if you're a man out here, especially young man, old man, older man, or find a way to put yourself through something rigorous, each day. And then as you go on, those things you'll enjoy the challenge. Your body needs to have a challenge put on it, needs some stress put on it. And so I think physical activity is really good. For me, I bench press 225. I can rep 225 out, at least 5 times. My goal is to do 10 by the new year, 10 reps of 225. My one rep max on 225 on bench press is like 245. My max on squats last time I did it was like 300. And my deadlift, I just got a PR on my deadlift, 375. And I can run an 800 in 3 minutes. That's 2 laps. I can run a 7 to 10 minute mile. So that's I can run a 5K in 25 minutes. So stuff like that, you want to have like a base level of I can 50 push-ups in a minute, less than that. Um, I can hold a 3-minute plank. Saying all that stuff, not as a brag, but to let you know, like, there are certain things that you should be able to do if you're a man, if you're an older man or a young man, you should be able to hit those type of markers to show a level of fitness for yourself, You know what I mean? You need functional strength. You know what I mean? You don't need to be like carrying a TV or something like that, and your back gives out, and or if you need to move, if you move in a house, you gotta move certain things. You might not be able to pay a mover, but you're gonna have to move a majority of the things. This stuff takes functional strength. You have have some muscle on you, or have some strength on you to do that. Um, and then also like when you're doing these things, like for me, I do a lot of physical activity, so smoking and drinking don't go hand in hand with that. It would kill a lot of the progress. You know what I mean? I've had a long battle with food that I've had to like taper down, and I've got it to a point where it's controllable. But the smoking and drinking, I think that we as a society should try and learn. Us as you know people should learn how to get rid of those vices. Everybody has something, what I'm saying, that keeps them, that gnaws at them. We're human. But the smoking and drinking part of society, I think, is something that we need to really start to rid ourselves of, so we can know that we're gonna, nobody's promised tomorrow, but you could live healthiest and all get out, and just die like nothing, like 35. God, I'm not putting that on you, but the quality of life, right? If you live long enough, you're gonna get to a certain age, 75, 80. Do you want to be healthy and able body and have a quality of life at 80, or do you want to be on an oxygen tank, what I mean, or on dialysis, walking with a cane? Do you want to be doing that at 80? Not saying that being physically active keeps some of that from happening, because things happen in life, but you narrow those chances down when you take care of yourself repetitively, and it's a compound effect. So I'm just really big into staying physically fit as much as I can be, so that way I can have a good quality of life, just in case I do extend in my golden age years. You know what I mean? So you know, that type of stuff is important to me. And playing on soccer teams and stuff as a 31-year-old is so cool, because I'll get those things where I'm like, hey, I play on a really competitive league, play on a soccer team, and our team is getting known around town because we're playing so good. And it was so good to be able to like be like, people like, oh man, you're 31 and you play, and it's like you don't do it for that, but it's like you that's a compliment. A lot of soccer players, like when they're done with physical activity, um, they pick up other things, but sometimes they don't, and you don't want to be that person that doesn't pick anything back up. You know what I mean? Because it makes it harder when you're doing your daily life, when you're doing your daily chores. Like whether you're washing dishes or taking care of your kids, if you got kids, being a husband or a wife. It makes those things more bearable, because the drudgery of life can really get on you. That monkey can get on your back. Doing daily tasks can be repetitive, folding clothes, all that stuff, taking out trash, all that stuff. It could get hard if you're not physically, you know, adept. You know what I mean? One of my fears is being like overweight and not being able to take care of my kid. That would really suck. If I'm, and then like to have him see me, I want him to see an example of what it means to take care of your body. You know what I mean? So with me, it's like with my son, when he's with me, he's physically active. He's out the door. He's running, jumping, playing, for an hour, 2 hours at a time. You know what I mean? Especially like now on furlough. After we get out of daycare, I bring him with me and we go around. Sometimes I'll take him to the CrossFit gym with me, and I'll put him in the playpen and I'll work out, and he'll stand up in the playpen and he'll just be watching people work out. That's huge for me because he gets to see what it looks like. You know what I mean? So when he gets older, he has an idea of how to take care of his body. That's big for me. I make sure I'm feeding him the right things, potatoes. You know what I mean?
That was blocked. Great job by
Here. Want more? Greek yogurt, you know what I mean, fruit, a lot of fruit. He's not really into greens, but rice is good, but I'm getting off on my kid, but the physical activity part of life is big because it makes me concentrate more on other details of life. And it makes it where it's much more easier to concentrate, when I'm like reading something, because it's like when you're physically fit, like that oxygen gets from here to your brain, and now the fog is kind of pushed out. You know what I mean? But I say all this too. But the most important part about being physically active is rest. You really need your rest. If you are, I'm saying this at 2 o'clock or something, right? 2:06 at night, but you want to make sure that you're getting proper rest. So like I'm gonna get rest, right? I'm on furlough, so I'll wake up around 11 o'clock, go through my routine, stretch, get some drinking water throughout the day, and then I'll eat at 1 o'clock, and then do study for my PMP and do some chores around the house, and then it's back to the gym or whatever. You know what I mean? Tomorrow I got my men's meet up, so I'll go to the gym, and then I'll go to my Bible study meeting on Friday, Warriors of Christ, and I'll get another workout in. Actually I probably might go to the football game, but after the meet up. But just things like that, you want to make sure that you're able to get proper rest. However you do it, 7 to 9 hours of sleep is the target you want to do, because your body needs time to repair itself and take those rest days. You know what I mean? I've been working out Monday. I worked out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Gonna work out Friday. I'll probably I probably won't work out as hard tomorrow. I may or I may kill it. I may work, and then Saturday comes. That's game day. Right, we had a game at 7 o'clock, so I'll do things a little bit different where I'll just get a nice stretch in, and I won't work out and then go to the game. You know what I mean? And then Sunday I really don't do anything, but I try to get 5 to 6 days of working out, but that's not everybody can't get that in. It's not, you don't have to. 3 to 4 is good. 3 to 4 is good, but I'm eccentric when it comes to working out, so I'll do like 2 workouts in a day. Like today, I worked out twice. So I did high rocks, which is different from CrossFit. It's more cardiovascular. I felt it though because I've been doing high rocks all week. That's a lot of running and stuff on the body. But my body's adapted to that type of stress I put onto it. That's the thing about the body. When you start to do certain things, it adapts, and when you're taking care of yourself and stuff like that, you can put the load on your body. But proper rest is definitely important. It triumphs over everything. If you're not getting your proper rest, then your body's not able to recover, and you'll suffer for it. Not getting enough sleep is just like drinking and smoking a bunch. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, I'm gonna get plenty of rest after I get off of here. But yeah, mental clarity, to be physically active, and then to make sure you have functional strength, really. And then, like, again, like being a 31-year-old and playing soccer with people that I coached, it's a blessing. I've had basically two knee surgeries, and so being able to get through all of that and still end up playing, competitive 11v11 outdoor soccer is a blessing. You know what I mean? And just watching people that are younger than me get to it, that inspires me. It doesn't discourage me at all, and I think that the older you get, the more excuse you're without. The older you get, you should get more in tune with how to take care of your body, how to put proper things on your body. What your body will talk to you if you work with it enough, and you need to make sure that you're figuring out what your body needs and stuff like that as you get older. Some people calorie count and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really do that. I just make sure I'm putting the right things in my body. Most of the time. Every once in a while, you can, you know, eat what you want or whatever, but I try to keep it pretty. My game so pretty tight with when it comes to eating out, eating and or not eating out, eating and working out, right? Because like I said, previous episode, they don't care, man. They don't. The restaurants and the health industry don't care. They want your body to go to waste. They're putting all this type of stuff in the food, so it's just important that you recognize what you got going on, take care of it. I completely cut out sodas. It's just water and electrolytes. If I do juice, it's like orange juice. Um, and I do coffee. I like coffee. But yeah, I mean that type of stuff, just the little stuff, like that. A lot of the meals, most of the meals I'm eating have spinach in them because it's a cleansing, uh, you know, oxygen giving source of food. The spinach is, and so and also one more thing too when it comes to working out, cardio is big. You know, yes, put weights on your body. Don't run away from weights, but some form of cardio needs to be done while you're working out. Don't run away from that. Like, and that's one thing I'll harp on before I get off. Don't run away from the cardio. You know what I mean? Even if it's like just running, you know, a sprint or two up and down, or jogging to your, jogging a certain distance and coming back, or walking. You need to put cardiovascular training into your body so that you can breathe. You want to be able to breathe deep. You know what I mean? It's really big. It'll help fight off heart disease and all the lung diseases and stuff like that. Soccer, you're kind of like part of the course. Even if you're a goalkeeper, you don't get out of running and stuff like that. You still got to be physically able to keep up on the cardiovascular side. So if you got that, don't lose it. Even if it's you get on the bike after a workout and you're just pedaling for 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Just pedal. You know what I mean? Get that in your system. It's important. If you're not doing weights, I suggest calisthenics. I started, you know, I started off like calisthenics hard, like push-ups. The three main calisthenics you want is a push-up, a sit-up, or a plank, and squats. And that's I don't do as much calisthenics as I used to, because I got a weight training program that I'm on with CrossFit and High Rocks. But if you're not doing weights, please, push against your body, pull against your body, with body weight exercises. You can drop to the floor and do those all the time. But a lot of people don't do it because it's harder than weights sometimes, low key, One more thing, too, that I wanted to talk about before I got off when it comes to, taking care of yourself and stuff like that is relationships. This is kind of like a little veering off, but um, I'm a person. I believe that man is not supposed to be alone. You do need, don't need, but if you have somebody in your life, that's really good. But the people that are not, when we talk about relationships, friendships, and romantic, platonic and romantic, the people that I'm not gonna say not serving you. That's not what I'm saying, because it's not all about us. But um, the people that are giving you like serious like headaches, people that if they're around you and they're just taking from you, taking energy from you, and not putting back into you. And if you're doing that, like if it's one sided, like if you care more than they do, like you gotta find a way to either reverse that, have a conversation, or get away. You know what I mean? And I'm very serious about that. Don't let everybody have access to you. Everybody doesn't need to have access to you. You should keep your circle small. You know what I mean? Obviously, family is family, but the people that are just taking from you, like you gotta learn to cut that off. Especially if like there's someone who's like you're into fitness and that person's not into fitness, but you guys are really close, there's a high chance that if you're into fitness and they're not, and you keep hanging around them, there's a 50-50 chance you might influence them. There's also a 50-50 chance that they might influence you to not work out. You know what I mean? And if they're like, hey, what's all that working out stuff? Like you gotta, it's a red flag. You know what I mean? You gotta decide. Like, are you gonna? Because there'll be some people who be like, I want to work out with you. I'm like, no, no. You gotta shed. There's not many people I want working out with me. You know what I mean? If you're gonna work out with me, you're already at the gym with me. You know what I mean? I've got a cloud of witnesses. With me. People that are working out, and we're all getting better together. And there's a certain type of energy you need to be around when it comes to physical fitness and stuff like that. You need to surround yourself with people who care about health and fitness just like you do. Or your progress could suffer. You know what I mean? That's very important to me. You know what I mean? It's just the people that you spend your time around is very important. Don't let everybody take up your space. Don't let everybody take up your energy. That's not good. That's not good. Um, if you're going to see that person all the time and that person's not coming to see you platonically or romantically, you got to reassess the situation because that's time you could be building yourself up and stuff like that. It's okay to like be in solitude for a minute until you figure out what you need to do. Um, but that's really all I had today. Life on furlough has been really really good. God's blessed me every step of the way here. Um, and Yeah, I mean, I haven't had to go get a part-time job or anything yet, but maybe that might be, soon to come or whatever. And when that does come, I'll update you and let you know how it goes. Um, part 3 will be out soon. So y'all have a good night or good morning.